All right, guys, what is up? Today we're fixing this countertop, laminate countertop that I pulled out of my laundry room. It broke when I pulled it off, and so we're gonna repair this area using bondo. Ta-da! All right, and then we're gonna repaint it. We're gonna try the countertop coating one last time, guys. We're gonna give it one opportunity to perform. If you haven't been following me, I made a video where I painted some countertops in one of our rental houses, and I painted it with this stuff. And I also did a repair, but I used water putty, and everybody's been telling me that I should have used bondo, so we're gonna try some bondo today. We'll paint it, we'll prep it really well, and then we will throw some clear coat on it, some kind of clear coat on it to see if that works. You guys have suggested a lot that I put a clear coat on it, so we're gonna try it. All right, so we started by sanding the countertop, especially around the repair area, so that the bondo would have something to stick to. All right, guys, I forgot to record, but I took a scoop of this, and then I added some hardener. Now I'm just mixing the hardener into the putty, into the bondo. All right, turns a little bit of a bluish color, and this is the multi-purpose one. All right, and so then once we have it pretty well mixed up, and we're gonna start spreading it. All right, and I sanded around so that this glossy laminate would kind of have something the bondo would have something to stick to. Because we're gonna have to kind of overlap it.
5 hours later.
All right, guys, we got it sanded. We're gonna wipe it down right now, but we did run a 120 grit sandpaper all over the laminate. It's really glossy, so to give it, scratch up the surface and give the paint something to stick to. This is my area that I repaired. It looks really good, so super smooth. We're gonna clean it with a cloth right now. We're gonna wipe it down with a little bit of soap and water, and then we're gonna paint. And like I said before, if you haven't seen the other videos, I did 2 other videos using this stuff. One where I did the actual painting kitchen countertops in a rental, and another one where I just painted a little piece that I have right here, and I just ran some tests on it, how it would hold up to stuff, and the results weren't great. In Rustoleum's defense, I just read the can again, and I'm reading it to kind of go through. I want to be fair, but it does say that you're going to need more than 1 or 2 coats are recommended. It says, as with most manufactured laminate surface, the paint finish will remain durable with proper use and care. All right, so use a protective material underneath all hot cookware and heated objects. We saw that. Use cutting boards or other protective surfaces when preparing food. Heavy pounding knives or other sharp utensils may scratch the surface. So in their defense, they do tell you on here, it is kind of hard to find these little tiny words that I don't know if anybody really reads, but it's in there. It's all the way at the bottom. So in their defense, they do let you know that you have to be careful with the finish. So we are going to paint it. But my thing was last time, it was like barely tapping it with anything, barely scratching it, and I get it. We're not going to sit there and take a knife to it and take a hammer to our countertops, but we also have kids. If it's a rental, people don't take care of countertops of the house as much as an owner would. And like I said, I have kids. They come in, they throw stuff on the countertops, and it, could damage easily. And that was my thing. I just wanted to test it out for you guys. Like I said, for a budget remodel or something cheap where you're just kind of trying to get through until you can afford to change the countertops, I think it's a okay option. It's great. It's not like gonna be amazing, but it's not horrible either. I mean, if I had to choose between this ugly green and just painting them, I would probably paint them again. All right, guys, and so all you need is a roller. We're just gonna pour it straight on here. We're gonna roll it. You want for the really smooth surface, you need a foam roller. This is just what I have here. I'm not gonna go buy a foam roller. It's gonna give me a little bit of like an orange peel texture kind of look on it, which I'm fine with for this example. And this is for like semi-smooth surfaces. It's a Purdy Colossus. It's a half-inch snap, so maybe a 1/4 inch or lower would probably be better, but this is just what I have available. Alright guys, and this is just the white. You can tint this to different colors. We're just using straight white, and we're just gonna pour a little out on the countertop. Of course, if you're gonna do this, you need to cover your sink. This is just a scrap piece that I had left over. If you're gonna do this, you know, cover your sink, cover your cabinets, whatever you need to cover to not get it everywhere. I'm just showing you guys an example here. Alright, and the repair looks really good. You can't even tell that we had a repair there. Make sure you wear your mask. You know, a throwaway piece that I'm replacing. I'm just using this to show you guys. So I don't need to cover the sink or anything like that. I'm not keeping any of this. Alright, and again, this will need a few coats to actually look white. Alright, there it is, and we're just gonna let it dry. Alright, once that coat dried, I took a bit of 220 grit sandpaper and just did a really light sand to knock down any little dust particles or anything that was kind of roughing up the surface. And then I went ahead and did the second coat. Again, I'm letting these dry in between coats, and in between every coat I'm doing a very light sand with 220 grit. On this one I even took the sander out, not putting a lot of pressure, and then cleaning in between every coat as well. Alright guys, we messed up. Make sure before you start sanding that it's completely dry. I did a really thick last coat, so I started sanding and there's a little piece that's still not completely dry, so we're gonna let that dry before we finish up. Alright, and on the last coat, I ran to the store. Well, I was at the store and I came across this little roller. This is for smooth surfaces. It's like an 1/8 inch snap or something. It's super short. So I picked it up. I went ahead and grabbed it just for the last coat, just because. But we still ended up with the orange peel texture on it. And we did the last coat using this roller. Make sure you clean it if it's a new roller so you don't get all the hair fibers on your countertop. Alright guys, I don't know if you can tell on here. I didn't spray right here, and over here I did, but in person, it like immediately, as soon as I sprayed a poly on it, it made it yellow. So this is wider than this area right here is wider than this area over here, and you can immediately tell. So not the best result unless you want like a cream off-white. Alright guys, we are back on this countertop. Alright, we let this dry. We did the clear coat yesterday. We let it dry. We did a poly and it kind of made it yellow. Not feeling that. The texture is horrible. That's on me though. That's because I used the roller with the longer nap, so you can feel the texture and see the texture on it. Yeah, I mean, the bondo repair looks good. It doesn't look like we ever had a repair right here. So that's the only good part. The actual coating is, again, it is what it is, guys. It's a $20 coating. It's like a temporary, in an emergency sort of thing like this. You know what I mean? Definitely don't think I'll be using it in any of our houses anymore. I'm gonna try some of the pro options, and I'll let you guys know how you guys can do your countertops like pros. Yeah, I mean, again, this is the first time that I used this, was on the rental, and just kind of spur of the moment, we kind of had to get it done, and so yeah, won't be using it again probably on another rental. I did put a clear coat on here, and this has only been curing for like a week. So I'm gonna give it, it says 30 days to completely cure. I'm gonna give it 30 days. I'm gonna leave this countertop in the back shop, and then in 30 days, around 30 days, a month, we'll come back and we'll test how hard it is and see if it chips easily and things like that. So stick around, hit that subscribe if you guys want to see that in the future. We will come back and we will check the durability on this.